Janice Pietropola, raped, strangled, shot. Beverly Christensen, stabbed in her home. Alice Eskew, beaten and strangled. Someone killed these women and at least 9 more at the oceanfront.
There was a tremendous amount of violence took place inside of that little cottage.
She was just precious to me. She was my sister, my only sibling that I had.
To police, both then and now, the murders are a mystery. Each killing was done differently, but the victims all looked the same. For a little more than a decade, young, pretty women met awful fates at the Virginia Beach oceanfront.
They found 2 bodies floating ashore in Virginia Beach, and they think it's Joanne and Christine.
Someone got away with murder, and maybe with many murders. It's been a well-kept secret in the Virginia Beach Police Department that maybe this pattern is the signature of a serial killer. It's a pattern I uncovered while analyzing police records, so I tracked down long-retired detectives like William Hayden to see if my hunch was right.
That was thought of on a continuing basis.
He says detectives back then were alarmed at what was happening to women at the oceanfront, yet no one could prove a clear link between the killings. However, as the number of dead women increased, so did the worry that a single cunning killer might be stalking the oceanfront. So why did police never tell you this? Why did they never reveal that a serial killer might have been preying on women at the beach? Hayden says, with the science of the day, they never found anything to prove it.
You still got to connect the dots, and those dots were never able to be firmly connected.
But one thing always matched: the victims. Here's what News Channel 3 uncovered. 10 women, all young, petite, pretty, and white, were murdered at or near the oceanfront. Even more women vanished from those same oceanfront streets. I took my findings to Virginia Beach's squad of cold case detectives, and for the first time publicly, they confirmed the serial killer theory.
It's been a focus, but there's never been anything to flesh it out, to bring it where there is any single factor that runs through all of the cases, except for the fact that they are young white females between the ages of, say, 18 and 25.
Like 20-year-old Brenda Joy Bancroft from Virginia Beach.
Everybody loved her. She was very, very cheerful.
Her sister Bobby and parents Bill and Joanne have ached for years to know what happened. They last saw Brenda on a day that was supposed to be among the year's happiest.
It was Christmas Eve, 1979.
Brenda went to a Christmas party but never made it back to her parents' house where she was supposed to spend the night.
I never thought that'd be the last time I'd ever give her a hug and kiss.
Christmas Day came without Brenda, and after a morning of worry, the family eventually decided to open their presents, including the ones from Brenda. Letting loose her tears, Bobby showed us how she has saved the wrapping paper from that final gift. She says she knew when she opened it, something terrible had happened to her sister.
You know, you feel it. You feel it right here. There's something not right.
Her mother Joanne and a friend went looking for Brenda, heading to Brenda's apartment off Bird Neck Road. They spotted her car.
And so we pulled up, and Elaine said, "Are you sure that's her car?" I said, "Yes, that's her car." And she said, "Stay here. I'm going over there and look in it." And she did, and she was in there, upside down in the passenger side.
The killer strangled Brenda and stuffed her body under the passenger dashboard, her legs on the seat.
I just want to hold her in my arms and just give her a hug. And just tell her I love her so much and I've missed her so much.
There would be still more victims from these confounding killings that began 6 years earlier with Pittsburgh tourist Lynn Seathaler and Janice Pietropola.
We were actually the first ones to open the door of the cottage.
News reports from the day revealed exactly what William Hayden saw. The killer strangled Lynn, shot her twice in the head, and slashed her throat. He strangled Janice, raped her, and shot her 3 times. And that was just the beginning. A year later, and 15 blocks away, someone strangled 24-year-old Beverly Christensen in her apartment. 2 years after that, a woman's headless and handless corpse washed up in the Chesapeake Bay. Then, a string of women who simply vanished from the oceanfront. 22-year-old Judy Sylvester, 18-year-old Barbara Jean Monaco, 17-year-old Marcia Remick.
These people need justice.
And there were still more murders. Alice Eskew beaten and strangled, her body dumped in First Landing State Park. Brenda Joy Bancroft killed on Christmas. Joanne Zwingman and Christine Pilzak found floating in the Atlantic in 1983. 20-year-old waitress Rafaela Bryant strangled and left in a burning car 2 years later in 1985. All history, all unsolved. But what police are doing now is frankly unprecedented. At the request of News Channel 3, Lieutenant J.T. Orr assigned a team of 3 detectives to dig deeper into these specific cases. They spent months locating the files and studying the pages. We asked if they would look specifically for any evidence stored in the 30-year-old files that might reveal, with modern science, a killer's DNA. And what they found could change history.
That one piece that will break the case wide open.